A wise man once said, where you end up in life mostly depends on where you start. I think this is just the plain truth. And it absolutely applies to capital structure decisions because that's the starting point, the foundational point for most businesses. And if this is not attended to and designed scientifically, this can be equivalent to capital punishment in the medium to long term for promoters, for management, and investors. Personally, I've always wondered, mostly with frustration and sometimes with utter amazement, about the poverty of attention that founders and promoters of hospitals sometimes provide to this absolutely crucial starting point in business. Because a good capital structure ensures that the available funds are used effectively, it prevents over and under capitalization and helps the company increase its profits in the form of higher returns to shareholders. Debt and equity are generally the two forms of capital sources for businesses, although there are others, but just at a simplistic level. And the capital structure is defined as the combination of the perfect possible combination of debt and equity, given the context of the business, that the company puts into use in order to finance the overall operations of the company and for its growth. Some of the factors that highlight the importance of capital structure is that it allows a company to increase the market price of its securities in the market and thereby leading to higher valuations. A good capital structure also ensures that the available funds are deployed effectively and it prevents undercapitalization. It also helps the company in increasing its profits, thereby returning dividends to its shareholders. And also, a good capital structure helps in maximizing shareholders' capital while minimizing the overall cost of capital. And it also provides flexibility of increasing or decreasing the debt in the capital structure depending on the situation and policies, etc. Some of the factors that are critical in determining the capital structure: one, the cost of capital. So this is the cost that is incurred in raising the capital. So the cost of debt, the cost of equity, right? And a firm or a business must make sure that its cash flow or the business or the profits that it generates or the cash flows, more importantly, that it generates is able to meet the cost of capital that is resultant from the decisions made on the capital structure, right? So that growth can be financed, operations can be financed, and also the degree of control. So the equity shareholders typically have more rights in a company than preference shareholders or debenture shareholders. And the capital structure of the firm will also be determined by the type of shareholders and the limit of their voting rights. We should also remember that capital structure is also impacted by the rules and policies set by the government, because changes in the central bank's monetary or fiscal policies can also impact changes in capital structure decisions. So as we get into this, an optimal capital structure is referred to as the perfect possible mix of debt and equity, which helps in maximizing the value of a company in the market, while at the same time minimizing its cost of capital. And this capital structure, this mix can vary across industries. So companies involved in oil extraction, petroleum, mining could have high debt ratios. But this may not be suitable. Whereas some industries like insurance may have a high amount of debt as part of the capital structure, and this may be suitable. Also, you will hear the term financial leverage, which is basically the proportion of debt that is part of the total capital of the firm. It is also known as capital gear or capital gearing, and such firms which have high debt is also called highly levered or highly leveraged firms. We will examine all of this briefly in the slides that come through. Stay tuned.